Worth the splurge? Why should you spend on real food? We have the answers coming up next. In this video, we're going to talk about what eating cheap, processed junk food is actually costing you.
And then we will reveal why real, nutritious food is worth the splurge.
And finally, we'll give you some tips for getting a lot of bang for your buck when shopping for real food. If you're under the impression eating real food is expensive, well, we get why. Some of it is compared with cheap, low-quality versions that you can buy in a box or a can or a package. But before you dismiss this splurging on real food, well, consider this.
Food is your body's fuel, and what you put into your body impacts how you feel mentally and physically, and how healthy you are, and sadly, what health problems you develop, and whether you might gain weight. If you're giving yourself cheap, low-quality processed foods just to save money, you're setting yourself up to spend a lot of money on healthcare costs later on.
This seems very black and white to me. But you might already be spending a lot of money on healthcare costs. If so, the cheap junk food and fast food that you're buying is already costing you a lot of money. Think about it. It's costing you a lot of time and a lot of happiness, really.
And in fact, Cristy, there was a study that was done where pharmacies, doctors actually wrote prescriptions for real food, and they had a food bank where they gave diabetics and other such medical conditions actual food that they can go home and cook, and they ended up spending less on their medications. So it's really a very, very simple thing to fix.
Yeah. Before you tell us, well, why can't afford real food? We want you to know we get what it's like to not have much money. We grew up poor on a farm in north central Idaho. And up until just a few years ago, I personally was completely out of money. I qualified for food stamps. I stood in the food bank line. And yes, I've been homeless and living in my car.
We know that it's not all about having a lot of money for food. And looking back at our lives, if we had made different choices and developed different mindsets, we would have had more money than we did growing up, because I was a broke college student for many, many years. So I remember living on the elk steak and water that my mom and dad brought for me.
Yeah.
So please don't take any of this as us judging you for your situation, because we also don't want you to see you limit yourself because you're holding on to behaviors, ideas, and low-quality processed foods that are costing you more than just the money, more than you realize. Here's what we mean.
It's estimated that over 30 million Americans have diabetes.
Wow.
When you factor in the out-of-pocket costs for hospital visits, medications, along with lost wages, a typical person with diabetes who is taking insulin is going to spend thousands of extra dollars in extra costs. And that's even with health insurance. I remember this because my first husband, Jason Nickel, is type 1 diabetic, and we had to come up with a lot of extra money.
And the problem isn't, those of you may be listening and saying, hey, I have insurance. And the problem isn't that your insulin is costing this much, even if you are paying out of pocket. It's all the extra things that come along with it. It's sometimes the lancets, the needles, the testing kits. It's if you have a surgery, you're going to need special care because you're going to take longer to heal. You might need different antibiotics. You might need wound care. You might need help with a lot of different things. What if you lose a toe or a foot? These are the things that happen when you're eating food that is not supporting your healing when you're diabetic.
And tearing down your body.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really what's happening here. Before we go on in this video, push pause on the video and comment below, are you dealing with this? Are you dealing with the mindset that eating good quality food is costing you more money? Or are you kind of starting to see what we're talking about? That it might cost more money, maybe, in some cases up front, but it's saving more in the long run, or vice versa. What do you think about all this? Comment below. On my nutrition program, the Code Red Lifestyle, we eat real food, drink water, and sleep to take care of ourselves and lose weight.
One other thing I want to put in here is that the companies that make junk food, the companies that make processed food, the companies that make fast food, they want you to think it is so expensive to go buy chicken and broccoli. They really do want you to know that.
There's no money in healthy people.
No, they want you to think that you spend, okay, back in the day, a Whopper was $1, and I don't think it's that way anymore. And the dollar for the Whopper is not only the fact that you're eating food that has absolutely no nutritional value, it's going in your body, it's coming out, it's actually damaged my system when I took it in as a broke college student. But I was convinced, because the people that put out the junk food, Cristy, had me convinced it was too expensive for me to go
that was
get
your only option?
Decent food. And the truth is, people have done studies. It is not more expensive to eat healthy.
Yeah.
That is absolutely true. And it is very common for Cristy's clients with diabetes to reduce, and in the case of type 2 diabetics, be able to stop taking diabetic medication when they start drinking water, eating real food, and sleeping.
Yeah, eating real food, even though it costs a little more, maybe in some cases, it gives them back all that time and money that they're wasting on their diabetes. This is preventable. Type 2 and pre-diabetes, we're talking about preventable. I've done many other videos on this topic. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but you have the control here. It's 100% lifestyle driven.
Most diseases, which all come with expensive medical costs, can be linked to nutrition and lifestyle problems. Change your nutrition and your lifestyle to reduce or eliminate these costs, and you're going to save a lot more money than you would ever actually spend on real food.
Don't fall for that lie that eating healthy food is expensive, like Carrie was saying. Food companies want you to think that, so you keep buying their cheap food. Like, you addict a customer, you have a customer for life, right? I mean, that's contributing to your weight and your physical problems.
Not eating healthfully is what is expensive. It costs you time with your loved ones, time doing the things you love, and quite frankly, and sad, time on this planet.
Yeah, and time's the one thing we can't get back.
Ooh.
Well, now that we've covered why real food is worth the splurge and why not eating real food is more expensive, let's talk about what we can do to make eating real food as cost-effective as possible.
One trick that I like to do and that Cristy likes to do is to buy frozen veggie steamers.
Yeah.
And everybody has their own version of it. You pop them in the microwave. They're ready in 4 to 6 minutes. And most brands of veggie steamers are flash frozen. So they've gotten all their nutrients, meaning they pick them and freeze them right away.
A lot of people think that buying fresh veggies, and guys, I've done other videos on this, you can look up on my channel. They think that buying fresh veggies is better than frozen veggies, but actually studies have shown that by the time they're picked, to the time you actually eat them, you're looking at a good 9 to 12 days, and that's a long time for them to lose their nutrients. But with frozen veggies, they truly are flash frozen. With fresh veggies, with fresh produce, it's going to sit in room temperature for days on end, and it's just going to break down. Frozen veggies are also available at a much lower price than fresh, so really, truly, you get more bang for the buck.
Buying your real food in bulk can also make healthy eating more affordable for you. Obviously, you'll want to make sure you don't buy so much it goes to waste. That doesn't make any sense. But unlike low quality processed foods, real food actually spoils.
Yeah.
It's not shelf stable.
No. You can prevent this by not buying more than what you can eat before your food actually spoils. And you can prevent it by freezing the food. You can also prep it in ways that keep.
Canning.
Yeah.
I love to can.
Or like that, what's that shrink wrapper thing?
I know exactly what you're saying.
Pack.
The vacuum seal.
Miles does that too.
If you need some help figuring out which real foods to buy that will help you feel full, feel better, and even lose all the weight you want, check out Cristy's 10-pound Takedown 30-day weight loss challenge.
Yeah, you can lose 10 pounds in 30 days with just real food, water, and sleep. I know that sounds like it's too good to be true, but we've had literally, at the time we're recording this right now, we've had almost 70,000 people come through the program, and they've been able to lose weight and take their life back with just very simple rules. And we're going to track your water, your weight, and your sleep each day, because that is the biggest thing here. And it's going to help you save money on food because you're eating food that fills you up. You've got to try it for yourself. I mean, really.
Cristy, we have had many rebels that have added up their food bills before and after. The problem is that when you're eating junk food, not real food,
right,
you may initially spend less money, but you have to get more volume so you feel full. But when you're eating real food, maybe you're buying an avocado that costs more than a Big Mac, but you can't eat that many avocados before you get really full.
You get more bang for the buck.
You're getting more bang for your buck.
Yeah, you're going to learn all of this on the 10-pound takedown. We're going to talk extensively. In fact, I come live to you every single day, and I teach you something new. It's about learning, but it's also about unlearning. And Carrie comes live to you too. I've got it linked up below. Check that out, and we will see you in the next video. But you may be spending a lot of money on healthcare. Oh, my fault. All right, I was trying to be clever. If you factor in the out-of-pocket costs for hospital visits, medication, along with don't fall for that.
Buying your real food. Is it denaturization?
No, hold on. It's called
oxidation.
Oh, it's called. Oh no! It was right in my mind what I was thinking about. It was right on the tip of my tongue. Darn it! Well, I can't say it now. Okay.